Hello everybody, my name is Sniper, and I welcome all of you back to a 30-second character in this series of videos talking about various newcomer ideas for Super Smash Bros. 5 on the Nintendo Switch. We just got done talking about Muddy Mole from Mole Mania, the last character, retro character, and right away we are jumping on to yet another retro character with another Game Boy character, in fact, Prince Sable from the... I'm mixing up my words here. For the frog, the bell tolls, and I do not know the Japanese name, nor probably could I pronounce it. But that's basically the rough, translation right there for the game. Now, Prince Sable or Prince Sable, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, so you might see me jumping back and forth in this video. He was an assist trophy in Smash Bros. 4, and his game, his game was never released outside of Japan. Does that hurt his chances? Yes and no. Have you ever played the game? There's probably emulation ROMs online. Did you like the game? I have no idea. I've never played it. And like I basically mentioned in various videos in the past for this series, there are certain characters I have to do more research on than others because certain characters I know, I've played the games and I know things they could do and how I would do their movesets. Certain characters, say Prince Sable here, I never played the game because it never came outside of Japan. I don't do the emulation stuff on the computer and whatnot, so I wouldn't know. And I had to do super research to even remotely come close to making a moveset for this guy. So Prince Sable is a character from, like I said, from For the Frog, the Bell Tolls, which is basically like a top-down RPG-ish adventure type game on the original Game Boy, kind of like A Link to the Past. It's like a Zelda-esque game, but like not a Zelda-esque game. It has like that 2D platforming stages, like a Link, the Adventures of Link 2 on the original Nintendo, with like top-down stuff like a classic Zelda, Link to the Past type of thing. Which is kind of funny that I talk about two games in a row, Mole Mania and this, that are pretty similar to a Legend of Zelda top-down type gameplay. So it's kind of funny, and that was not planned, and I'm surprised I just realized that right now. But yeah, before I get too far into talking about Prince Sable, whatever stuff here, like talk about this. Let's just get this started and let me talk about why I see him as a cool newcomer and cool newcomer ideas and moveset ideas and whatnot. 3 categories, like always. Why does the character make sense to be in Smash Brothers? Moveset ideas and percentage chance I can see him getting in. Now, why does Prince Sable make sense to get in? First and foremost, he was a Smash Brothers 4 assist trophy. Not saying that really helps characters get in. People would jump on the idea, oh, Lil Mac was an assist trophy in Brawl and he was playable in Smash 4. It was not really because of the assist trophy. It was more so because Punch-Out got a revival on the Nintendo Wii. And that's pretty much prominent in the fact that when you look at Lil Mac in Smash Bros. 4, it's the Nintendo Wii version of him. It's not the NES version, not Super Punch-Out. It's the Wii design of him. So it's pretty much, that's the reason why I got in, because the series got a revival on Nintendo Wii, which was pretty much one of the major systems they were looking at for Smash Bros. 4. But due to the fact that he is a Smash Bros. Assist trophy before, that might help his chances at least a little bit if they decide to include, because he is still a retro character, and they might still just want to include him because people know him already because they've seen him as an assist trophy in Smash Bros. 4. So there is a reason for why it at least makes a little bit of sense, because people at least will recognize his face as, oh, that's the assist trophy kid that did the frog stuff, and that kind of thing. Also, another reason would be it's Japanese exclusive. People say, oh, that's not really a reason, but it kind of is, because Sakurai has kind of done that before. He's picked characters that are exclusive to Japan. Like originally, Fire Emblem characters, Marth and Roy and Melee, were going to be exclusive to the Japanese version because they didn't know if, since the series wasn't out in America or worldwide localized yet, they didn't know if those characters would be well received outside of in the Melee versions outside of Japan. They did decide to release them, but they were still Japanese exclusive characters. Like he's done that before, where it's characters that are exclusively to Japan. So that is something Sakurai would do, and he's already been a Smash Bros. Assist trophy, and he's Japanese exclusive. So there you go. And I do recall hearing he's popular. And I'm not, like I said, I never take popularity and demand as high as like relevancy, recency, and whatnot. But that's for more so like the third-party characters, the main like current recent Nintendo characters. He's a retro character, and I think popularity matters more so for their inclusion than the modern day characters. So I do recall, I think the game did well in Japan. I do think he's well known, at least for a retro character, and I could see Prince Sable actually being included because of reasons like that. And just like I mentioned with Muddy Mole, the fourth reason here He's something different. It's a Game Boy representation. It's not an NES Famicom. It's not like accessory or a Game & Watch type stuff. It's a Game Boy game, and we should have a character that represents that by now, Sakurai. So that's something that represents different. He does do stuff differently just to be different sometimes. So I could see him doing that for, like I said, mentioned in the last video with Money Mole, or this video with Prince Sable. So there you go. Those are the 4 reasons. As for movesets, this is where I really had to kind of do research for, because I really do not know anything about the game and how he plays and how it really goes. But the smash attacks he does have, what you can see is a shield, and what you can see is a sword, and people are going to cry and whine over a sword user, but I kind of would have to make his smash attacks be sword and shield. He can defend with his shield, he can block with his shield, maybe reflect attacks back, and he fights with a sword. The difference is he is a fencing sword user, and we haven't had one of those yet, so that would at least differentiate the type of sword style he does, because he does do fencing, he does do, like, Prince-like sword swinging type stuff, so he's going to be more, like, elegant, more like, oh, I'm fencing and stuff like that. I know his main sword is not a fencing sword, but he knows the ways of how to fight with a fencing sword. He's trained with, Prince Richard, or whatever the heck the other character's name, the rival in the game is. So he has a fencing sword style with a shield that can reflect attacks, and that would be his smash attacks. And he also does what is considered, what I looked up is called En Garde, which is like the smoke cloud. Because in the games, you don't actually attack opponents. You walk into them, a smoke cloud appears like, typical cartoon, like, you're not seeing what's underneath it. And that was actually in the part of his assist trophy in Smash Bros. If you guys remember back in Smash Bros. 4, like the big smoke cloud when he attacks opponents, that's it. It's the hysterical, comedical, cartoon cloud of him beating people up. That's how he attacks in the game. It's like if your characters level up enough to beat your opponents. That's kind of what the game plays like, at least in the top-down sections. When he fights with his sword, I will make it so it doesn't cover this cloud, but it will. Some of his attacks with his sword will cause the smoke cloud, will cause the En Garde, which will probably stun the opponents a little bit, at least leave them a little bit dazed so you can get a couple extra hits in there. It might be a random thing. It might be like if you do a certain combo, the smoke cloud will come up. I don't know. So it'll be like either specific strategy and specific like move set to like you doing a certain combo, or it'll be random. I don't know. But I think that'll throw that into his sword swings with his smash attacks. His special attack, I'm going to focus entirely on his transformations into a snake and transformations into a frog. Because in the game, he can transform into a snake, he can transform into a frog, and you can see that quite clearly in the assist trophy in Smash Bros. 4. So he'll, like, for temporary, a couple seconds, he'll do jumping, hopping frog attacks, like jump up and like kick opponents, or jump into them, or jump over them, some type of stuff. And then he can turn into a snake and just lunge forward like a snake, or bite opponents, or stuff like that. It'll be temporary type stuff. I do think he does some other things in the game too, but those would be where I prominently make his special attacks based off of. And then, like, if there's anything else he does, just throw it in there alongside the transformation to a frog and to a snake. But I'd make that his major focus, because that's kind of like the main focus of the game anyways, is that he can turn to a frog and to a snake, which is also in his assist trophy form in Smash 4. Now, for the final Smash. This is where I really had to... I really had to do my research on. And normally when I do research on this and I see people make moveset ideas, I come across characters that have made Smash movesets for some of the characters I've done. I've changed up stuff. I might, like, if I know a better idea than theirs, or think I have a better idea than theirs, I change it up and I do something different. If I look at their idea and I change it up a little bit, I do that too. This is the first time in this series where I've looked up a character's moveset for this character, Prince Sable, and I'm taking it directly from them because I don't know a single thing about his game. And I'm going to mention the person it's from. If you go on DeviantArt, it's from Evil Waluigi. I'm giving you a shout out right now, Evil Waluigi, and I'm mentioning that this is directly his or her moveset idea. Like, this is what they chose for a Final Smash. This is the one time where I'm taking directly from someone else, but I'm giving them, a shout out. I'm going to mention that I got it from them. I'm not going to say it's an idea just picked from the game. It's called the Agari Z, where he takes out a Z flute, and this character called Dr. Nick comes down in a giant mech suit and attacks opponents. I actually kind of like that. It stands out. It's different. It's interesting. It probably represents a major boss battle or story element to the game. But like I said, I've never actually played it. But I'm giving a shout out to you, Evil Waluigi from DeviantArt, that I basically mentioned that I'm using that idea. Because I'm fair like that. I'm not going to take it and say I have it. If I changed it up enough, I would say, okay, maybe I got it from this, but I changed it up enough. If I took a totally different idea, then I don't have to really reference it because I went on my own experiences with characters and gave them a different Final Smash. This one, I'm actually using it because it sounds interesting, and I have no idea what else you could even give him. So thank you, Luigi. Shout out right now. Go check out their DeviantArt page. But the Igari Z Giant Mech Suit comes down attacks. So that's basically what I would do for his moveset. The Sword and Shield fencing style on Garde for his smash attacks, Transformation Frog into Snake for his specials, and then Igari Z as his final smash. As for the third category and his percentage chances I could actually see him getting into Smash Brothers, I'm giving him a 40%, which is I think the lowest I've given a character so far because he is so obscure, which hurts Muddy Mole too, but at least Muddy Mole was basically worldwide released. He's only been in Japan. And I know I said that helps him, but that also hurts him too. That's a hindrance as well as it is a positive thing because, less characters know about you. I mean, less people know about you, but it also is something he's done before. So Sakurai's done it before, but it also is a hindrance. It's a pro and a con. And I'm giving them a 40% chance because there's so many other retro characters they would choose over. They would choose Muddy Mole over Prince Sable. Guaranteed. But more than likely it'd be like a Takamaru or a Mike Jones or Excite Biker or Mock Rider or someone else. Lip, the mech suit fighter, Joy-Con, whatever it is, someone else, I think, over him. Because I know he's a sister of, he's Japanese exclusive, and Sakurai's done that before. But that is a hindrance, and I think there's much better choices than him. Even though I think he'd be pretty cool to see, and it would be cool to see a retro character like him in the game. And that's my video. Put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys like this character? Do you want to see Princess Sable in Smash Brothers 5? What about my reasons for why I feel it makes sense? My moveset ideas? Or Evil Waluigi's Final Smash? Percentage chance you think 40 is too high, too low? What moveset ideas would you give him? Have you actually played the game? Would you be able to give him anything else that I didn't give him? What reasons do you think he makes sense again? Yeah, there you go. Discuss it. Have fun. And my name is Snipe Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. Say goodbye to Prince Sable, character number 32. And say hello to character number 33 next time when I finish the Breath of the Wild Champions with Verbosa.